Hey, it's me, Velvet, and I bet you're wondering why I'm in this creepy parking lot. Yeah, my car broke down, this piece of crap. Well, it's got me thinking about that episode of Bob's Burgers. You know, the one where everyone disrespects Bob, even his family, everyone? Yeah. Sorry, there's a dog that wandered into the parking lot and keeps jumping on my shoulders. But let's get started. Bob and the family are going to the movies. You guys remember the movies? Personally, I've never been fond of the movies. I always think when I'm sitting in a chair, I'm a bit of a germaphobe, that I'm sitting in someone's booty sweat, and it doesn't make me feel good. Linda, she's doing something that I used to do all the time. That's why I always took my sister or someone with a purse. She's smuggling chocolates, and we did that, but we smuggled a lot more than chocolates. We smuggled soda, chips, candy, all that. That was the only fun part of the theater, was trying to get one over on them, because the food's always been expensive. But yeah, family's on the way. Tina did not brush her teeth, and she is belching in poor Luis's face. And yeah, time to go. And to make things worse, Jimmy Pesto is across the street making fun of Bob.
I'm Bob's car. Good, JP.
Because the car won't start, which, dude, what a dick. And this type of thing doesn't bug me in something like King of the Hill, because Hank can take it. If someone gives Hank shit, he will stand up for himself and he will hold his own against them. But Bob is so pathetic in this show. Maybe he gets better in the later seasons. I haven't really watched them, but I do remember this episode, so I wanted to talk about it. But it's annoying because Bob is pathetic, and he'll just take it. And when he does try to give it back, it's pathetic. Bob gets the car to start, which, that's great.
Not a good one, Jimmy. Started right up.
And they still go to the movies, which I wouldn't do. I've had times where my car's been giving problems and it starts shaking while I'm driving. And you know what I do if I'm close to home? I turn around and go home. Unless I have to be somewhere, I'll risk it. But if you don't have to risk it, and they don't have to risk it, they're going to the theater, they don't need to, they could just stay at home and watch a movie. But you know what I mean? Because you could go and your car could make it, but as soon as you park and turn it off, it might not turn back on, and now you're stuck in a creepy parking lot at night trying to fix your car. And what happens? Exactly what I said would happen. The car fails them. But it's even worse. They didn't even get to make it to the movies. It craps out in the street. So now they got to find a way to get this off the street by pushing it. Well, Bob pushes and Lynn steers, and now they got to deal with this whole headache trying to get it back home. We don't know how far they are from home, but it's not fun. And now they got to sit there and wait for a tow truck, probably. Or they can abandon the car and hoof it to the theater, which... How could you do that? I know if my car breaks down or has any problems, that's the only thing I can think of. Could you sit through a movie and not think about your car and that stress that's waiting for you? That's insane. I'd be like, family, we're waiting for this tow truck and we're going home. I got to deal with this car and this money that's going to have to go into fixing this car, and I hope it's an easy fix. I hope it's not. I hope it's an alternator, or I hope it's a battery. On the way to the theaters, walking farther away from their car, the family gets a flyer for a show called Family Fracas, and it makes families, it's a game show where families go and do weird things and get foamed.
We should go home and call a tow truck.
And Bob says, hey, we should go home and call a tow truck. Yeah, that's the first thing you should have done. You should have called for a tow truck as soon as your car broke down. Now your car's out there in the elements where anyone can see it and touch it. The family then proceeds to nag poor old Bob into going and leaving the car. I mean, who could say no to this? Instead of going to the movies, they go to the taping of the show, which is taking part in the Channel 13 studio, and they meet Chuck. I don't blame you if you don't remember Chuck. There was a whole episode where Bob had a cooking show. He fought with Gene, and then Lynn got the show canceled basically by whipping her tits out and flashing everyone on TV, which I don't think that would work, because aren't shows on delay so they can catch things like that? I think that's how it works. Bob catches a break, and Chuck says he's cool because he got a gig hosting a new show. The show they're going to watch, Family Fracas. But something tells me that Chuck isn't ready to let this go.
Oh, good.
Dark, dirty water under a horrible bridge.
But unfortunately for Chuck, a problem has arisen. Their family, the family that was supposed to go on the show, they got food poisoning, so they're out. Where the hell are they gonna find a family of 5 to participate on the show in such short notice. I wonder where.
The heck right here.
Yeah, we're a family of 5.
No, we're not.
Chuck's boss likes the idea. He's all for it. Chuck on the other hand is not, which, yeah, I get it. This family already made you lose one show, one paycheck already, so I get it. Bob doesn't want to go at first until you hear the grand prize. It's a brand new minivan. How convenient.
What the hell? Let's do it.
No! Fantastic. Hooray for Family Fracas.
The family's been having car problems, and now there's a car for free. Not really. That's a burden too. You know you have to pay taxes on that, right? That's why, remember Oprah? Remember Oprah gave everybody a brand new car? Everybody had to pay taxes on that? Those people didn't have money to pay taxes on cars. What's the tax on like 32K, 60K? I don't know, a lot for people. It's a lot for me. So I think you could trade those in and get the cash equivalent of the car. So that's what I would do, but it's a cartoon. Bob wants a car because their car is breaking down. Let's go. Bob plays the game. It's time for Double Dare. I mean, Family Fracas. It's Double Dare. They're doing Double Dare, but they don't want to get sued by Nick, which I'm all for. I remember watching that as a kid. Personally, I was, a Legends of the Hidden Temple kind of guy. Ghost Silver Snakes. Screw you, blue eagles or barracudas, whatever you are. Screw the blues. But yeah, Double Dare. This is, as much as this episode annoys me, this was a nice little blast from the past. Some nostalgia. It's a nice little hit. But they're going up against the O'Neills, the O'Donnells. They're Irish, you can tell by the red. Let's see what happens. I remember when I first watched this, because I'm so used to Bob failing every time and getting shot on every time, I thought they were going to immediately lose, which is not the case. Let's take a look. And our first game is Brain Drain. All they gotta do is take the little marbles out of the head and put it in the brain on top of their partner's head. What's the worst that could happen? I'm pretty sure they might win this one. And yeah, they lose this one, and it's in a funny way because Tina thinks the boy's flirting with her because they accidentally touch hands.
Are you trying to distract me by holding my hand?
What?
And Tina's character was originally supposed to be a guy, which guys kind of do that. If a pretty girl smiles at you, you think she loves you and that she's the one. So Tina's kind of like that a little bit, and all her shite talking bought them enough time to win. Getting them foamed, which is basically getting slimed, but man, I don't know, maybe because my whole life the slime's been green, I'm used to that doesn't gross me out, but seeing it in orange, that makes it worse. I feel like they're covered in nacho cheese, and I like nacho cheese, but I don't want to be covered in it. Alright, game 2. Game 2 is real simple. All they gotta do is scoop the flies out of the bowl. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But a part that does get me this freaking episode, because I know if I did this to my mother okay, maybe if she was knocked out and I had to bring her back and that was the only way, I think that's the only way I wouldn't have been, I would have been wiped off the face of this planet. To psych themselves out, Louise wants Linda to slap her in the face, and Linda doesn't do it. Louise does it. She jumps up and slaps her mother in the face.
Oh,
I'll slap yours.
I'm pumped.
Which, yeah, that's a great way to end up dead in my family, but that was actually quite funny. I forgot this episode has a little funny thing here and there. It's I don't hate it so far, but I know it's at the ending part is where things start to come off the rails or go wrong. It looks like that psyching out really did pay off because they win. They win by 1 fly, which, nice, good job.
Phone time.
We're all tied up. It all gets decided by the final game, the Human Claw game, which is basically you kind of just dive headfirst into a bunch of blue balls. Yeah, blue balls. And then you gotta use your tongue to tongue that golden ball in your mouth with your tongue. And the first person who does that the fastest wins. And holy crap, Bob wins. I remember when I first watched this episode, I did not think he would win, but he wins. And on top of that, everyone saw that win. Everyone is 3 people. It's Teddy, Jimmy Jr. and Zeke. Yeah, it's been a while. Zeke. That's a lot of people. That's enough people seeing the win. Let me just say, I love through this whole episode all of the shit talking Tina has been doing. She does it to like every family. Even if she likes the boy, when she's in game mode, she's in freaking game mode. She wants to win. I love it. It's great. My favorite character of this entire show is Tina for numerous reasons, and that's one.
You're leaving in shame, but you played a good game. They were terrible.
And since they won, you know what that means. It's time to spin the wheel and hopefully win that minivan, which that's kind of crazy, right? You could just win the minivan on your first pull. This is a really bad gacha game. It doesn't even have a lot of choices. Let's see. It's got beach bag chairs. Isn't this? Well, it's a family game, so I guess there'd be things for kids, and I guess it'd all be family. The minivan, which we want. The Fracas foam, which I guess you just take home some slime. What the hell are you gonna do with that? Mess up your carpet? And the DVD player. Holy crap. Remember when DVD players were expensive? I do. I remember when they first came out, to get a nice DVD player, it was $500, maybe more. But the one we were looking at was $5. And on top of that, even if you didn't want the expensive ones, you didn't want the fancy ones, because the cheapo depot ones, the 50 and lower, those were the ones that could play the burnt disc. And that's what you wanted. You know, suck it, fancy DVD player. I want the cheap stuff. Back in the day. I don't do that no more. But back in the day, we didn't know. It was a simpler time. But they spin the wheel and they fucking lose. They get the Fracas phone. God fucking damn it.
Come on, minivan.
Oh, hey, a 5-gallon bucket of fracas foam, so you...
But it's not all bad. Since they're the winning family, they can come back the next time, which is I think tomorrow. They come back tomorrow, and if they win again, they can spin the wheel again and hopefully win this minivan. And Gene comments about eating the foam. I don't think you should be eating that, man. I don't think you're allowed. Did kids eat the slime back? Kids had to have eaten the slime back then. Oh God.
Get it for the winning family.
Do you hear that? We're the winning family.
Did you hear that? Fuck yeah, they're the winning family. You celebrate, Bob. You poor beaten down man. You gotta take your win wherever the hell you can get it. The next day, Bob's outside scrubbing the windows, but he's looking across the street at Jimmy's. I guess he's waiting to talk to Jimmy. But what I really want to focus on is what's in the foreground. Gene is playing with this nasty ass foam, which, God, orange just does not work for me. It crawls my flesh. Just make it green. Say it's not slime. Say it's bime. I don't know. Oh fuck, the orange doesn't work. But he eats that shit. Linda, you're a terrible mother. Stop your child from eating that goop. You know it's not edible. He's getting diarrhea. Turns out, yeah, Bob was waiting for Jimmy. I was going to say Jimmy Jr. because I hear Jimmy Jr. a lot more than Jimmy. But it's the elder Jimmy. And Bob tells him, hey, did you see us on Family Fracas? Watch us tonight, you little bitch. I'll give you a shout out telling you how much of a little bitch you are. And then Jimmy does a little bitch move by trying to like, Bob, fucking jackass. Okay, I watched it this part before I hit record. I thought it was going to be Jimmy and the family at first because, you know, all of that. But it's the Changs. It's the Changs, and Tina does a racism. They got a chuckle out of me.
Hey, everybody Chang sons tonight.
Oh, dear Lord.
After Tina does what she does, we see Pam, which she's been in the background from this episode and they talked about her, but she doesn't really come into play until now. Pam has a judge show, which is basically Judge Judy. You'll see later on in the episode. But Pam and Chuck used to date, and Pam does not like Chuck, which you think would come in handy with Bob and them later on, but not really. This really has nothing to do with the story of the episode, but this part kind of weird. They're fighting Pam and Chuck. They're fighting blah 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 blah. But Pam does this thing where she kind of squats a little bit and slaps her posterior with her gavel. Gavel. It's probably it's gavel. The little hammer's gavel, right? Yeah, she slaps her behind with the gavel.
I sentence you to kiss my ass. See this right here? That's your punishment.
You would love it. I will do it.
Somebody better kiss somebody's ass. We're all gonna go crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. It's got your boy feeling kind of weird. This might be a new one for me. The episode skips over the first two games with the Changs and the Belchers, but it's a tie, so win one, lose one. And it's all come down to the blue balls game, so they shove their faces in the giant pit of balls again. And Bob wins yet again. you ever watch Married with Children? There's that episode where Al, things are going great for Al, and Al's like, this isn't right. When things go great, something really bad's gonna happen. And I feel like that with Bob. When things are going great, I feel like something really bad is gonna happen. And you know what that means? Another win means another shot at that wheel. And Louise goes again. Okay, Louise goes again, and she gets the fucking phone again. God damn it. I mean, it's not the minivan, but I want the DVD player. Give me something other than foam I have to get rid of. I'm not going to do anything with that phone. And Bob does what he says he's going to do. He shouts out Jimmy Jr., calls him a little bitch. Oh, little bitch-a-rooney dooney. Next, it's montage time. And they play just a bunch of games, throwing stuff at pizza, not all that. They play games and they win and win. And Louise keeps spinning and losing and losing. And she keeps getting the foam. I'm sorry, after the third spin, I would have been like, Louise, let anyone else spin because I'm tired of this nasty foam. But she loses every spin and she crashes out a little bit, which, you know, fair. I'd be pissed too if I lost like 50 spins to win the minivan. There's not a lot of things on this wheel. She should have won anything else but the phone by now. Chuck has had it, and he goes to his boss to try to get Bob and the family kicked off the game, but the boss distracts him with this hand thing he does. But Chuck is able to break the mind control, and the boss has to tell him something about the host, Richard Dawson, about how he puckered up and kissed everybody. And then he starts making out with Chuck. Well, and Chuck doesn't really do it. I don't get it. I feel like Chuck should just go to HR. That's weird, right? Your boss is just making out with you. All right. While the family's warming up for their next game, Tina says something that I agreed and I said before they should have done a long time ago.
Maybe someone else should spin the prize wheel tonight since Louise keeps landing on foam.
Maybe we don't let Louise spin again. They have 5 giant buckets of Fracas foam. Fuck are you gonna do with 5 Fracas foam? Nothing. It's just a waste of money and space. Bob says, enough about that. We're the Belchers. We got this. We're gonna beat this family, and then we're gonna spin the wheel again, and then we're gonna win the minivan. But unfortunately for Bob, Jimmy Jr.'s here, and things aren't gonna go well.
Jimmy, you're on Family Fracas?
Yep, I signed us up.
And Jimmy Jr., in, you know, perfect douchebag fashion, is already cheating. This is supposed to be a family show. Jimmy does not have a family of 5, so he's using his bartender, and he says he's like the son he's never had. Which, alright, bullshit already.
I only count 4 pestos and your bartender Trev.
I told him he was the son I always wanted.
What?
Right on, Pops.
Tina, my favorite character, lets Jimmy Jr. know that she will destroy him. Good girl. Get him.
I have to put aside my feelings for you and destroy you.
Whoa, you're being kind of intense, Tina.
I know, I bring it.
Alright, it's our first game against the Pestos. And they lose the same way Tina lost the first round in like the first family. She was talking shit to Jimmy, wasn't paying attention, and they lose. Okay. Alright, second game. It's Louise and Tina versus the twins. And all they gotta do is throw eggs in a giant frying pan on top of their head. Was Double Dare like that? Was a lot of the games like put thing on head? I can't remember. I haven't watched Double Dare in like 10,000 years. Who knows? But yeah, they win. Go Louise, go Tina. We're tied up again. Man, they tie a lot. Final game, blue balls. And you know what's gonna happen. Bob's gonna... Shit. Jimmy won. And he won really fast. Like, I don't think you're supposed to win that fast with this game. Huh.
What just happened?
We lost to the Pestos.
Okay, yeah, see. He won really fast. He won so fast, Linda didn't even realize that they lost. Yep. The other foot had to drop. The other shoe had to drop. Now Bob, they've lost, and Bob is stuck, suspended in the air because of the crane malfunction. And on top of that pile, the juniors, the Jimmy Juniors and the Jimmies, they spin the wheel and they immediately win the minivan. The first spin, they win the minivan. The fuck? When it rains, it pours. Now, since Bob was stuck, the family tried to pull him down, and they pants the poor guy on TV, and everyone sees. Just letting it all hang out. Goddamn. Well, it's the next day, and Bob is feeling exactly the way you would expect him to feel after losing the minivan to his archenemy, Jimmy Pesto. He feels like crap. And Lynn decides she's gonna flush the giant tubs of fracas foam down the toilet. And you can't do that. It says on the side of the bucket, don't do that.
This fracas foam. I'm gonna flush it down the toilet. Bye.
No, you can't.
It's true. It says right there you can't.
Oh.
Remember Gene? Gene's been eating this crap. I don't know. I don't know how Gene's gonna make it to adulthood. And Bob's family, being ever so helpful, shows him that the scene of him getting pantsed is on the internet for everyone to see. God damn it. I wrote it. A great... They're trying to raise the spirits, but they suck at it. That. A little later on in the day, Jimmy Pesto is still being a dick, and he's been driving around the block making fun of Bob by, showing off the minivan. But when Bob goes out to confront him, Jimmy says something that Bob is a loser, that Chuck knew he was going to lose, and that Jimmy knew he was going to lose. And Bob wonders, what do you mean by that? What do you mean that you all knew I was going to lose? So Bob goes back and looks at the footage online. And yeah, he notices what we noticed in the beginning. Jimmy found that way too fast. And he thinks he's in cahoots with Chuck. Which, yeah, probably. Chuck hates him. Jimmy hates him. Makes sense two enemies would come together to go after Bob. And Bob says something here that I like. He says, if he's gonna lose, he wants to lose fair and square. Which, yeah, I agree. If I get my loss, let me take my loss fair. And Bob, before he goes on this huge speech, he gets stopped by Louise, telling him that they're gonna go watch a movie in the van. The van that should have been theirs, the van that was stolen from them. And yeah, that's a little bit more, a little more sand in the wound right there. Your kids abandoning you like that. God, that sucks. Jimmy Jr.'s having a movie night in the van, and Tina, Louise, and Gene think they're gonna get in. And while I don't like Jimmy Jr.'s dad, I agree with Jimmy Jr. here. Tina talked a lot of shit to him during the game, so I wouldn't have let her ass in too. Bob, fired up, goes to see Chuck's boss and to tell him that Chuck cheated and Jimmy cheated and that he wants justice, and he says that he'll take it to real court. And the boss calls his ass out. He says, yeah, you two broke.
That costs serious dough. You don't have it.
What makes you say that?
Those stains, your smells, you walked here, your children, you're not wearing any jewelry.
Ah, crap.
Damn, even his kids? I mean, yeah, I get it. I can see it. It's time for court. And Bob's got nothing. His what was it? Defense? No, he's not defense. He's the prosecutor, right? Yeah, prosecutor. Bob says that Jimmy says that he sure knew he was gonna lose. Even if Bob had that recorded, that doesn't tell them anything. That's not them admitting to cheating. So Bob's got nothing right now. And it looks like they're screwed and Jimmy Jr. is gonna win until Bob gets an idea from Tina that there's cameras everywhere. And there's one specific camera they can use to see if if Jimmy cheated. It's the foam camera. The foam camera. Which, alright, finally, looks like Bob's gonna win and they're gonna get the minivan. Hell yeah. Chuck, knowing that they cheated, goes over to his boss and tells him, hey, yeah, I cheated. Can you do something about that? The boss says he's not gonna let one of the hosts of his other shows on this network get caught cheating. So they destroy the tape by snapping it in half and then lighting it on fire, which is absolute BS. Okay, so Bob and them knew that the boss got the tape. They have the tape, which, why is the boss handling the tape at all? It should be the cop guy who's in court, that guy. Okay, so Bob, they alerted people, the audience, the judges, she's not looking or paying attention, which is BS, should be paying attention. If someone alerts you that the tape is here, so people would have saw the tape, saw them destroy the tape, and knew that they were cheating. I'm just saying, like, this part is complete bullshit, and I hate this part of the episode. Someone would have seen, but This costs them the case, and Bob loses, Jimmy Jr. wins, and he keeps the minivan. Yay. And a nice little bitch slap to the family, which, come on, man. They get foamed. Yeah, apparently every show on this network has something to do with foam. And Louise has a valid ass crash out.
Down you go. Just put my hands on your throat and down you go.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of funny to watch him, you know, knock her out, but I feel like you could sue for that. Like, you didn't need to do that to that little girl. You could have just restrained her. Funny scene, but I feel like you could still sue. Lynn is so annoying. She does not have Bob's back like most of the time. Bob says there's no way in hell they're gonna watch anything on this channel again. And Lynn says, I might watch a little bit of Pam's Court.
And never watch any shows on Channel 13 again!
Oh, come on, you don't mean that.
Yes, I do!
I might watch a little bit of Pam's Court, just a little bit.
Okay, even if you're still gonna watch the channel, shut up, back your husband up. Say, yeah, I'm not gonna watch any of this crap, but I don't know, man. It's something I see with Linda where I really don't think she cares or loves Bob. Just, I think, because there's a lot of times where she does not back him up. Well, after losing the case, the family has to walk back home covered in foam. Why are they still in the foam clothes? Don't you think they would have changed before they left? But on the way home, they see something and Bob gets a tiny little win. It's Jimmy Jr. and he can't change a tire, which is sad. He's a grown-ass man with kids. Look, if you drive, don't drive. It's not hard. Look up a video on how to change a tire. It's not hard. It's something everyone should learn. And also a little tip, those jacks that come with cars, they're garbage. I've had to change a couple cars with them. They get the job done, but they are not fun. They eat up a lot of time and burn up a lot of your energy. If you can, buy a cheap little $50 jack where you pull a pump jack. Easy money to spend. Buy yourself one, especially if you're driving a car. It'll help you out so much changing a tire. And Bob, I think Bob was a lot nicer than I would have been. I would have cursed him out, but Bob basically makes fun of him. It's a gentle rizzing, or ribbing, not rizzing, ribbing, a gentle ribbing. And Bob's family chews him out for it. Jimmy calls him mean, which, you know, fuck you, Jimmy. You just fucked us out of a van that we desperately needed because, you know, I need to get my family around, and I know your restaurant's making good money where you can afford a car. But the family turn against Bob. They say, oh, what Jimmy was doing was funny, what Bob was doing was not funny.
Hey, who am I?
I can't change a tire and my whole family is watching me not be able to do something simple.
You are mean.
Yeah, Bob.
He's dead.
What? He's the one who said it to us when my car wouldn't start.
Yeah, but he was funny.
He was funnier? No?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, fuck that family. Like, really, they're trash. Nobody has Bob's back. I'm sorry. I don't know, maybe it's the way I was raised. How are you guys raised? Because I know if my family member's in trouble, I have their back. So this is so weird to me. I don't, like I said, I don't like it in the show where they keep shitting on Bob. His family should at least be there. Hell, in King of the Hill, most of the time, Hank's family is there for Hank. Even if he's in the wrong or people ganging up on him, they don't clown on Hank. I think that's something I just don't like about Bob's Burgers. It gets depressing watching this character get shit on all the time. Are there any episodes where Bob gets a good win? Not this type of weak ass one where he just clowns on Jimmy for a little bit. Like, Bob gets a legit good win. If you have an episode like that, tell me, because I want to see it. Maybe I'll do a video on that, because damn, I hate this episode. It's so depressing. And Bob, being even more of a pushover. I was gonna say a good person, but screw that. He's a pushover. He goes to help Jimmy Jr. change his tire. Fuck that, dude. I would have laughed my ass off at him changing a tire. And it's not even that bad. They're right by their restaurants. They're right there. He could run back into his restaurant, look up a video on how to change a tire, and change the tire. I hate that ending. It's supposed to be like, oh, Bob's a good dude. No, Bob's a bitch. Super bitch. I would have just left and laughed my ass off at this grown man that can't change a tire. Ridiculous. But yeah, that's the end of that episode. I fucking hate that episode. Like I said, if you got one where Bob wins, cool. If you think there's one that's worse than this, that's cool too. Let me see that one. Hell, that might piss me off even more. I have been Velvet, and it looks like this nice clown has finally fixed my car. I bet you guys thought he was a killer clown. Nah, he's one of those clowns who's trying to become a mechanic. That's pretty cool. He fixed my, what is it? Oh, it's my head gasket. That was probably an easy fix. But yeah, time to hit the road and head on home. But seriously, before I go, thanks, brother. Come to see his family now. You really helped me out of a tight spot. Oh, can I give you a ride to your place? Ugh, fuck no. I hate clowns.